YouTube, what's going on? YC Imaging here with another tutorial, and today I'm going to show you my top 10 most used music video transition effects. None of these are like cheesy or unprofessional. This is all stuff that I use on a regular, and none of these require like a third-party plugin or anything like that. You could typically use these in all of like the basic editing platforms: Final Cut Pro, Final Cut Pro X, Adobe Premiere, which is what I'm going to be using, Sony Vegas, maybe even iMovie. I'm not sure, I haven't used that before, but I'm going to break these down into foundations. Then I'll show you a few variations that can be created by combining these foundations into one. Again, this is only a few. These can be combined in endless ways, you know what I'm saying? I'm just giving you a few that I typically use, you know what I'm saying, on the daily or whenever I'm editing a music video. So without further ado, let's dive into it. I'm going to go through these like fairly quick, so if you need to pause this video or rewind it, please do so. And the first foundation is speed. I typically use this if I don't like the way a clip transitions into another clip, or I just want to give a video that overall fast look. So how you're going to do this is you're going to go to the clip, the end of the clip, and you just cut a little portion of it at the end with your razor tool. And then once you do this, you go to your speed option. You just bring up your speed option for the clip and increase the speed. I typically do 3 to 500. Typically 300 to 500. You know what I'm saying? Increase the speed. And I think this looks best when you use it next to another clip. So if I put speed on this clip right here, I would typically add speed to this one as well. You know what I'm saying? Just to give it that fast overall look, which is what I say. Happy, cool, happy. Maybe that's not fast enough. Let's increase that to around 500. Happy. See how that transition into that look pretty cool? Then I would probably add it to this one as well. Increase that to 500. But I'm thugged out. Happy, cool, but I'm thugged out. The next foundation we're gonna dive into is Flash. And this one is pretty easy as well. You know what I'm saying? It's basically the same type of setup as a speed one. So you go to the end of the clip that you want to transition on, and you give it a little cut right there at the end, just like the speed one. And you go to your video transitions, and you're gonna drop an additive dissolve right there in between the cut and the general clip. You can scale it down or make it big, or however long you want the flash to be. I typically do it very small just because I want my flashes to be pretty quick. As you can see right there, that's a little flash onto your clip. Like the flash transition. Next one is zoom. I use this a lot, you know what I'm saying? Gives it a cool little transition. And this one's you're not gonna cut. You're just basically gonna scroll to the point where you want the zoom to start at on the clip, which is at the end. You see them right here at the end of this clip right here. So you click on it. And on Premiere, you will go to your effects controls. I'm not sure, I haven't used Final Cut Pro X, but it's basically just keyframing. So you add a keyframe right here where you want your zoom to start, and then you go to where you want your zoom to end. You add a keyframe there as well. And basically where you want it to end, you just increase your scale for your clip, and it just adds a quick little zoom and effect to the next clip for your transition. Right there, zoom in to the next one. The next one is reverse. The reverse has the same type of setup as the speed and the flash as well. You're basically gonna cut the clip at the end. You remove the part where you want it to start at on the reverse clip, and then you basically cut the clip right here, and then you duplicate it. So you can copy the clip, and then you go to where the reverse is gonna start, and then you paste the clip back. So right there. Oh no, I'm scrolling this all up. You paste the clip to right there, and then you reverse it. As you can see right there, the reverse. Just another transition I do, you know what I'm saying, reverse. It's gonna really play into each other when you start doing the variations of it, you know what I'm saying? When you add and you combine these 2 or 3 into one different transition, and it looks really cool. The reverse didn't look that cool right there, but when you combine it with something else, it's dope. Alright, so let's do the cuts, like the hi-hat cuts. I know you all have edited to those beats where it's just, you know what I'm saying, the cuts are just going fast in the beat. You wanna add that in? This one right there. It's like one that starts right there. Alright, so you cut where it starts at, and then you'll cut where it ends at as well. And then basically you zoom into your timeline, And while you have your razor tool, you can just go and it'll connect frame by frame. So you just cut every frame in between the two cuts that you originally started, and then you cut out every other one. So boom. Oh no, my bad. Boom, you cut out every other one and you'll get a nice little flicker effect, whatever you want to call it. I call it hi-hat cuts, you know what I'm saying? There you go. So you can use that as a transition in between the clip, you know what I'm saying, just to go to the next one. Like if I wanted to transition to this clip, I could just delete that right there and it'll go from a cut to the next one. Like this, you know what I mean? So that's super cool. Now I ran through the foundations. Let me show you a few of the variations that you can do to combine the foundations into one. So the first one is the speed flash. I use this a lot. A lot of people ask me about this. So anybody who's asked me about this effect, man, I'm about to put you on game right now. So basically the speed flash is combining the speed and the flash, you know what I'm saying? So you'll go to the end of the clip, wherever you want to add this transition at, and you add a cut right there, wherever you want to add it at. So I'm gonna add it right there. And then you adjust the speed for the clip. So let's do 300 for this one. Stretch it back out to where you want it to end. And then you add an additive dissolve in between the clip and the speeded up portion of it. It's gonna add a nice little speed flash to it for you. Dope, I use this a lot. There you go. See, that looks cool as fuck. So that's a speed flash. The next one I'm gonna show you is the zoom in to zoom out. And I use this one a lot as well. So this is just all this keyframing stuff. Alright, so you go to the clip and you go to where you want it to start the zoom at, and you add your keyframe there for scale. You go to where you want it to zoom to end the zoom, and that would typically be at the start of the next clip, and you just increase the scale all the way up depending on how fast you want. If you want it to go faster, you would just increase the scale size. So I typically do it like really huge, and then what you're gonna do is on the next clip that is transitioning into, you're gonna add keyframes on that one as well. So you'll add a scale keyframe at the beginning of that, and then you'll add one where you want the zoom to end. So let's do right there. But on the first keyframe is where you're gonna increase the scale on this one, not the second one. My mama told me all the day. My mama told me all the day. That's probably too long. If I was gonna do it, I would probably decrease the space between my keyframes, which I get the general gist of it, you know what I'm saying? So that's how you do that. And if you wanted to add a little flash in between that, you can just drop an additive dissolve in between that as well to make it look a little bit better, you know what I'm saying? Make it a little bit quicker of a transition. There you go. So that's the zoom in and zoom out. The next one is the reverse flash. So I'm gonna get this one right this time. I made it past 25 and I ain't ran from. Alright, so cut off end portion of the clip like I showed you before. Cut that off, and then you cut the clip in a little bit, and you basically just duplicate the clip over to you duplicate the clip over next to each other, the next to that clip, my bad, and then you reverse it. So I'll reverse speed that one and cut it down to where I want it to stop at. And then you go in and then you add the additive dissolve in between the two clips. So basically it's just gonna reverse and flash into each other. It's gonna be cool. You see how it's pretty quick. You can make that longer as well if you want that clip to be longer. That's just showing you how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there's a million different variations and ways you can do this. If I was doing it, I would want it pretty fast. I don't want it super long. So you really gauge how you want it by what you're doing, you know what I'm saying, and your editing and your process. I'm just showing you how to do it. Alright, so that's the reverse flash. The next one is the reverse speed flash. So it's the same type of thing. Same thing I just showed you. You cut off that end portion of that clip, duplicate it, put it next to each other. Then you reverse speed it, but you would increase the speed this time. So let's do 300 this time. Drag it to where you want it to end, and then you drop an additive dissolve right in between those two clips. And this is the typical one I would do. I wouldn't add it unless I was increasing the speed on it. This is typically what I would do. Drop that additive dissolve on there as well. Again, you can really gauge how long you want the flash to be. If you want it super long, you can just drag it right to the end. You know what I mean? I typically do it smaller. There you go, man. You got the reverse speed flash right there. And then the next one I'm going to show you is you can do the cuts to the speed flash.
Jump off, no, I ain't sparing none.
Alright, so you hit a hi-hat cut right there. You can cut that clip right there. So you can add the hi-hat cuts at the beginning of this clip. End them right there. And then you can speed this one off right there at the end. So let's dive into the hi-hat cuts first. Boom, 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 boom. You zoom in. And you pick your razor tool and you cut out every other frame like I told you before. So boom, 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 delete those out, and then what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to speed the end of this clip up and flash it. All right, let's actually speed this, stretch this out. So at this portion right here, you'll cut it, increase the speed to what, maybe the 300 or so. Stretch that out to where you want it to end, and then you add an additive dissolve in between these two clips to give it the flash. Alright, so you see you got the hi-hat cuts at the beginning, and then it speeds off to the next clip right there. And there you go, man. Basically just ran through 5 foundations for you and a few different variations of those foundations that you can use to increase, you know what I'm saying, productivity, as well as give your videos a more cool look with the transitions, you know what I'm saying? No plug-in effects needed. This is all already in program with speed adjustments, additive dissolves, and keyframes. So it's all pretty simple stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's all cool looking stuff as well. Like I said, there's a million different things you can do with this. You can do hi-hat cuts to an invert, to a flash, to a zoom, whatever you want to do, man. It's a billion different things you can do with this. I'm just giving you the guidelines and the typical things that I do. So if you found this video helpful and you liked it, make sure to leave a like, comment, also subscribe, and I'm gonna check you out on my next video. Peace.